Hello, love. I'm taking a little break in my Flyp hauls to share with you what sold in the month of May. Now, if you've been around, you know that I like to separate my different platforms. So this video is only focusing on my Poshmark sales in the month of May. My next videos will be my month of May sales on eBay and Mercari as well. If you are new, welcome. I hope me sharing my sales helps you in some way of knowing what to source and what price point things are selling at as well. So the very first thing to sell for me on Poshmark in the month of May was a Jenny Kane tank. This I sourced off of Poshmark, of course, after listening to Lindsay Nicole. She is the queen of Jenny Kane. This I bought for $6, of course, then I paid shipping as well. So it ended up being about $14 with the Poshmark shipping. This sold for $45. The buyer did not have any kind of shipping discount attached to it, but it did have that 20% Poshmark fee. So I did make $36 on this minus that $14. Now this was an interesting experiment for me because this was the first piece that I sourced from Poshmark to sell on Poshmark. I am all about trying out different sourcing strategies, and that was just me dipping my toes into sourcing in this way. This next thing to sell came from one of my very first Quicklotz. This was the North Face skirt. This sold for $18. There was no shipping discount attached to it, so I got $14.40. This is something that I had a 40-60 split, so I only got 40% of these profits because it was my first Flyp lot that I just wanted to, get used to it, get those reviews in. This next piece also came from that same Flyp lot. This was an Athleta Dress. This sold for $10 to the buyer. The buyer did not have any kind of shipping discount, so it was $7.05. Of course, 40-60 split. At this price point, I definitely wouldn't say that it's worth it, but I'm all about trying out those different sourcing strategies, and it's just kind of one big experiment for me. I will say that I have kind of the leeway to try out these different strategies because this is not what I do full-time. Full-time, I am an assistant principal, so I do this just for $1 here, $1 there, learning along the way. Inflation is killing us all, so gotta make ends meet somehow. This next piece also was from the same Flyp lot. This sold for $20. It was a charcoal gray pink duffel bag. This did have a shipping discount attached to it, which gave me $14.28, but only taking that 40%. This Vince Camuto blue floral long sleeve shirt was not from a Flyp lot. It was actually from a ThredUP rescue box. This sold for $28 to the buyer. There was no shipping discount attached to it, so I earned $22.40. Now I estimated my cost of goods on the ThredUP rescue box to be roughly $3. So of course I'm not making all of that, but I will definitely say, according to these sales, it seems like it's more worth it to have the ThredUP rescue box compared to the Flyp lot. So that's something interesting to notice. These 7 for All Mankind A Pocket jeans, I wasn't sure if they were women's or men's. I thought they were men's for sure. I ended up selling them as men's with no issues, so hopefully I was right with them. These sold for $18 to the buyer. The buyer did not have any kind of shipping discount. This came from a previous Flyp lot in which I bought out for $90. The first item sold for $96, so I already made my money back. This is kind of icing on the cake with it. Anyways, I got $14.40 for these to reinvest, try out different strategies. These Under Armour black cropped leggings came from a ThredUP rescue box. These sold for $5 with no shipping discount. I got $2.05, which is less than my cost of goods for it. I will say, although these were Under Armour, they felt like they were Amazon or Shein or something. They were so thin, and they just did not look high quality at all. I was surprised somebody even wanted them. In fact, when I shipped them out, I was afraid that I was gonna get a return just because I couldn't believe that these were even Under Armour. The buyer seemed to be perfectly okay with it. I did get a 5-star rating without a doubt, so maybe I just, not really feeling it. But somebody else is, and that's all that matters. I was recently on a Disney trip with my mom and my aunt, and we saw a long line of people rushing to this Lily Pulitzer line, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I definitely was like reseller mind, twirling. I got in the line, didn't know what it was, but I knew the craze was something. This Lily Pulitzer and Disney crossover backpack was probably the cheapest feeling thing ever, but it was Lily Pulitzer and Disney, so I guess it was important. I ended up buying this for $98. It did sell for $176. There was not a shipping discount, so that gave me $140 back into my account. I picked up a couple of these, and you'll see later on that another one sold on Poshmark as well. These black boyfriend jean shorts I got from free inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. If you've been around a while, you know that I've been going back to this particular person. Every couple of months, she's cleaning out her closet. She just has a lot of clothes that she's trying to get rid of. So this is something that I got for her completely for free. This sold for $25 to the buyer. The buyer did not have a shipping discount attached to it. So that gave me $20 of pure profit because it was free. Now the story with this is somebody was on the Nextdoor app asking what kind of side gigs they can get into. And of course, I put reselling out there, and in the comments of that post, somebody reached out to me and said they used to give their clothes to Goodwill. They realized that resellers were buying the inventory anyway, so she just wanted to cut to the chase, give it to me. I was definitely happy to take it. The first time I was like, oh, maybe she has 10 things that I can kind of dig through. Maybe it'll work out, maybe not. I probably have 400 or 500 pieces from this person at this point, all completely free. So definitely making out on that free inventory. I've also been given free clothes from different people at work, family, friends as well. Just talk about what you do, and I promise you people are willing to give you anything that they don't want in their house. It is spring and summer cleaning season. Take advantage of it. Tell people what you do. You will end up with more stuff than you know what to do with. These Alfani black cropped pants came from a ThredUP rescue box. Now these sold for $14, no shipping discount. I always like to point that out. That gave me $11.05 minus the $3 cost of goods for this. Alfani, if you didn't know, is a Macy's brand. This loft linen v-neck shirt came from that free inventory. This sold for $11. There was a shipping discount attached to it, which gave me $6.33. I was afraid when this sold that I no longer had it, because I swear I just packaged one up from either eBay or Mercari. Maybe it was Kitizen, I don't know, but I definitely put a loft linen shirt in the mail right before this. Turns out I forgot that I have like 5 or 6 shirts that are pretty much the same. With this particular person, she definitely had a set style, set brands, which is Loft, Next, and Tommy Hilfiger. At first, I didn't think that I was going to make any money from these shirts at all. I mean, this is not, the most amount of money, but I didn't think I was going to make any money at all just because it's so plain. So I wasn't listing them. They were just sitting in my death pile for me to take to buy, sell, trade. Buy, sell, trade didn't want them, so they were just sitting there. I was going to go back. I never made it back. Eventually, I just listed them and they're selling, so I don't know why I was holding off on listing them to begin with. This purple crochet open knit shirt was the perfect thing to list for this whole 90s Y2K craze that we have going on here. This had no style tag, no brand tag, no size tag, no tag at all, but I think it was about a medium, so that's what I listed it at. This sold for $27 with no shipping discount, so I got $21.50 after this came from a ThredUP rescue box, so it was a $3 cost of goods, so minus that out of my profit. These Lucy workout leggings came from a Quicklotz. These sold for $22 to the buyer with a shipping discount, which gave me $15.88. This one was a 50-50 split though. As you can see, this 5-pound mystery box did not sell for very much at all. It was $9 with the shipping discount, so I got $4.33 for 5 pounds worth of clothes. The thing with this is it is some of the ThredUP clothes that had no brand, no size. I quite honestly wasn't taking the time to look into it because it didn't seem like it was all that good of stuff. So I was quite honest in the description. It's in my death pile. I wasn't gonna do anything with it. I tried taking it to buy, sell, trade. Buy, sell, trade wouldn't do anything with it because there was no information on the piece. I knew that I wasn't going to list it. I knew I wasn't going to donate it. It was just going to sit there forever and ever and ever. So I finally decided to just throw it in a box. Somebody else I'm sure is happy to deal with it. It's out of my house, ready to move on, more room for more inventory. The buyer did give me a 5-star rating, so I guess it's working out for them. I have noticed some of the lots on Flyp, I feel like came from ThredUP because they do not have any size tag attached to them at all. So I feel like that's what some people are doing, and honestly that's might be what I start doing, is taking some of my ThredUP pieces that I know I'm never gonna do anything with it, put it on Flyp. Somebody else I'm sure will be happy to research it. I might even have stuff that I don't even know just because I'm not putting the effort into it. Should I? Probably. Am I missing out on money? Probably. Do I know myself better? Absolutely. If you keep seeing me like awkwardly looking at my phone, it's because I keep getting alerts that stocks and cryptocurrency are going down and down and down, and I'm waiting for the perfect time to buy. A lot of my profits from reselling, I actually reinvest into stocks and cryptocurrencies. So my mind is always there just the same. So I apologize, but it's a necessary evil to make sure that I'm reinvesting in the most appropriate way. If you are not yet in stocks or cryptocurrency, or both of them, I highly suggest getting there. It is definitely a gamble, but so is reselling. It's a just, I suppose, different gamble. You're not having physical products to buy and sell. You're buying and selling invisible money if you think about it. My mind right now is like thinking everything's on sale. I can get things so cheap, so cheap, so cheap. So I'm waiting for the price to be so cheap so then when it eventually goes up, when we get out of this disaster that we're in right now, hopefully that money will be there waiting for me. I never put enough money in to be like seriously worried about it. It's kind of my play money. Like I said, I am a full-time assistant principal, so I do have a stable job to back me up. All of this is extra icing on the cake so I can afford, different fun things for myself, like nails, hair, dinners, drinks, time out with friends as well, flights like crazy, all those extra things. This Polo by Ralph Lauren shirt was actually one of my boyfriend's. This sold for $25. That gave me $20 of profit. I split 50-50 with him, gave him $10. I had $10. Quite honestly, that $10 was probably spent on the very next lunch. So it's all good. It all evens out anyways. This table cover actually came from an Quicklotz Amazon palette that I got last July. Or no, it was before that. I think it was probably about in March. So I've had this a little bit over a year. This sold for $18. It was free shipping attached to it, so I got $1.31, but it was out of my house. The original cost of goods for this was 50 cents, so I technically made money, but I will say that I made like quadruple my money back on that particular palette. So these couple of things that are still sitting there, it almost feels like it's free money. $1.31 obviously is not that much money, but it's out of my house, it's money in my pocket. These Loft Riviera shorts came from free inventory. Of course, Loft definitely equates to that free inventory. These sold for $16 to the buyer with free shipping. So I got a total of $5.13, but it's free, so I'll take it. Remember I said her favorite brands were Loft, Tommy Hilfiger, and Next. This next piece sold for $18. It was a skirt. I did wear it a couple of times to work, so I got some use out of it just the same. No shipping discount. This gave me $14.40 for something that I was able to enjoy and make money off of. Now I did put the words peasant and cottagecore in the listing, so I think those two keywords helped sell as well. I try to put some keywords in there if I know about them, if I know that that's what is going to help it sell, just because this was a kind of plain blue skirt, nothing going on, and if I didn't use those keywords, I don't know if it would sell. This Abercrombie and Fitch sweater was a full button V-neck sweater, men's. This was inventory that a friend of mine gave to me to resell. This sold for $33 with a shipping discount, which gave me $24.68, a 50-50 split though. This pair of black and nude wireless removable pad bras came from a Quicklotz Amazon palette, so it was about that 50-cent cost of goods. These sold for $14 with no shipping discount, which gave me $11.05. With this, I was kind of afraid they were going to come with a return, because in the title it says wireless and it says removable pads, and the buyer asked me after they purchased if it was wired and if it was padded. Of course, I just said yes to both. I kind of left it at that, but in my head I'm thinking, did you read the description at all? So I was afraid that that was going to be returned. It wasn't, luckily. 5-star rating, all good, but all the while when I was waiting for that to be accepted, I'm like, this person is definitely going to return it. Definitely going to return it. That kind of made me realize, do we really need to be spending that much time on a description? If we know keywords, put the keywords in there, of course, but I don't know if it's worth it to go crazy with the title and description if people don't even read it. This Levi's Deconstructed mini denim skirt came from a Flyp lot. It sold for $25, no shipping discount, which gave me $20 of profit. This was a 50-50 split. This next one got me thinking about another sourcing strategy I could possibly take up. This Victoria's Secret bra was one of mine that I got from the Victoria's Secret outlet for $6. Now this was used. It sold for $22, no shipping discount, so that gave me $17.60. I wore it for probably 6 years. Not very often because it really wasn't my favorite, which is why I chose to sell it to begin with. I made money off of it as well. So I haven't been to the Victoria's Secret outlet in a while, but there is one probably about 20 minutes away from me. I'm wondering now if it's worth it to try to go sourcing over there to see what I can come up with. I'm sure prices have gone up. They're probably not $6 anymore. I probably should have way back then been thinking about this, but I was not thinking about reselling 6 years ago. This Ann Taylor Loft, aka free inventory, blue and white dress sold for $35 with no shipping discount. That gave me a $28 of pure profit. Now, this is really making me think, like, Loft, I didn't really think very much of it, but if it's in good condition and it's cute, I think people are buying it. In fact, the dress I'm wearing right now is from Loft, and it was, of course, from that free inventory as well. These Lucky Brand tan booties came from a flip lot. These sold for $19, no shipping discount, which gave me $15.20. This was a 40-60 split, so I only got 40% of the profits from this one. These Levi men's 505 jeans, or are they 501? Why do I have 5? Are they 505? Let me check. They were 505. I always just think of 501s. But anyways, these had a big old hole in them. These came from a flip lot. These sold for $14. Splitting my 50-50 profit with the client. Remember, I said I had another Lily Pulitzer backpack. This is it. This one sold for $150, no shipping discount, which gave me $120. I think $120 was the original price, but I bought it for $98. I was able to buy it for $98 because my aunt is part of the vacation club and she gets a discount. So I lucked out when I was with her. Definitely when we saw the line and I saw that I was with her with the shipping discount, I'm like, I am taking advantage of this. I will say when they first were out, people weren't able to get them. They sold out like literally within an hour. So the prices were way up because the people that wanted them so bad and we weren't able to get them were buying them for $250. I think I waited a little bit too long to list these and they didn't sell for quite as much. I will say I listed them the very next day, but I think that was also too late because the people that were going crazy and way over spending had already bought them, and the people that were like, it would be nice to have, those are the people that I ended up getting. These American Eagle Next Level stretch jeans came from a flip lot in which I had a 50-50 split. These sold for $15, no shipping discount, so that gave $12 of profit. This Calvin Klein tank came from a ThredUP rescue box. There was no size tag, so right off the bat, I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to sell this for as much money as I would have hoped, but it sold for $7, no shipping discount, so that gave me $4.05 of profit after the $3 cost of goods, so I made $1.05. Whatever, it's out of my house. It didn't end up in that 5-pound mystery box and I would have lost money on it. This Tresix black V-neck long sleeve t-shirt was mine back in my college days, and I don't know, I couldn't get rid of it. I have a hard time just throwing out clothes or donating clothes to begin with. So I was just waiting for this one to sell where I was gonna use it for a sleep shirt or I don't know. But I ended up putting it up on Poshmark. It sold for $25, which I was actually very surprised about. There was a shipping discount. It was free shipping. That gave me $12.33 for a shirt that I had in college years and years ago. Cryptocurrency went down again, so I think after this video I'm going to look into buying some. So if that is something that you would like to learn about a little bit more, definitely let me know. I'm just not sure if that's something you want to hear about or not. So I don't know. I'm willing to make a video about what I know. I'm definitely not an expert. I follow my boyfriend's lead on everything, but I guess I can track when numbers go up and down, I guess is what I'm saying. This Anthropology skirt came from a flip lot. I'm pretty sure somebody probably is going to the bins or sourcing from their ThredUP rescue box because they have hundreds of items up on Flyp that all are about the same quality and about the same price point. This I felt like was very used. It was pilling like crazy. It had an elastic waistband that was like folded in half. You know, sometimes they just like get all folded weird and it's like impossible to straighten them out. That's exactly how this one was. It did not have a belt. It originally had a belt. To me, it was something that was about to go in the trash or just should have been donated, but I'm like, okay, somebody else is counting on me to list it. I went ahead and listed it. This sold for $18 with no shipping discount. It was that they gave $14.40. This was a 50-50 split. So of course it's not that much money, but for something that I like, to me, I wouldn't personally wear because it was so worn and I just didn't know about the style, but somebody else was definitely all about it. I think this was originally like well over $100, which again, I don't really get, but I don't have an Anthropology style myself, so I think it's just too far removed, but I'm willing to make money off of it. And this last thing, this New York & Company short sleeve or sleeveless blouse came from a ThredUP rescue box. This sold for $10 with a shipping discount, which gave me $5.33. After my $3 cost of goods, of course, we need to take that out. Now that piece, actually the past 3 or 4 pieces sold while I was in Chicago for one of my friend's wedding. It was actually my very first Indian wedding that I was able to attend. And I had so much fun. I learned so much about different cultures that I did not know anything about. I got to wear a cool little sari, which I absolutely loved. This was something that I rented from a different company called Preserve. It was green. Actually, I'll put a little picture. I think I might actually make a video all about it just because so many people loved that sari and I had so much fun on that weekend that, of course, I just, I want to tell you all about it. I'm saying that because when I do go out of town, unless it's like a week long, I do not put my closet on vacation mode because Poshmark does give you the 7 days. Now, of course, I don't want to use the 7 days. I normally ship within the 1 day. But if I'm just out of town for a long weekend, I just communicate to the buyer, hey, I'm out of town. I will be back on this date. Is it okay if I wait to ship out then? I've never had anybody say no. In fact, people are like, oh, have fun. Don't worry about it. I didn't need this until so-and-so date anyways. I think a lot of people kind of anticipate shipping taking a long time because for a lot of people it does. In fact, a lot of people are so surprised that they get their items so quickly. That was all of my sales, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end here. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. That must mean you're here for a reason. If you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. While you're at it, hit the like button. That allows my videos to continue to show up on your homepage as well as the homepage of others to continue my goal of learning and growing together.